Hi friends, welcome back again to my channel. Today I'll be critiquing a Ugandan movie that is currently on Netflix Africa, and it is titled A Girl in the Yellow Jumper. Well guys, this is the very first Ugandan movie that I have watched, and it is a crime thriller, and that makes it more fun. And then this movie is based on a life story, a true life story. It tells of the story of a man that was kidnapped and drugged while watching television in his house. Although he escaped his abductors, he got into much more trouble. Yes. And that makes everything interesting. Well guys, is this movie worth your viewing pleasure? Is it worth being on your watch list? Kindly stay tuned to the end of this video to find out about that. But if you've seen this movie before, kindly share your opinions about it in the comment section below. Let us get chatty, let us talk in the comment section below. In today's video, I'll be talking of the good, the bad, and the ugly of this movie. But if you're new to my channel, oh my goodness, kindly do me the favor by clicking on the red subscription button to subscribe. It is totally and completely free to do so. I won't collect any money from you for subscribing, and kindly click on the like button too as well. Now, the very first thing that I like about this movie is the concept of the storyline. The story is a true life story, and I really like it. And guys, you all know that true life stories make so much sense. They have so much in-depth in them, and I love the way the story was being told in this movie, although it had some hiccups, but that did not cut off the fact that the storyline makes sense. I love the plot twist, the cliffhanger. I love the violence, the tension, the pressure, the pain, the torture. Everything makes sense. I love it. I also love the quality of the movie. The quality of the movie is good, like very good. I love the editing of the movie. The cinematography is beautiful. I love the photography. I love the camera angles, you know, the way the camera angles were placed. I love the attention to details in this movie. It makes so much sense. The editing, like, kudos to that. Like, this is the very first Ugandan movie I'll be watching, and all these things in the editing, in the movie as a whole, you know, I just love it. It makes sense. So Ugandan movie makes sense like this. Okay. This movie is actually making me to want to watch other Ugandan movies. So I'm happy that at least this movie did not disappoint me on that aspect. I also love the dialogue of this movie. Like, the movie is heavy on dialogue, and the director did not disappoint me right there. The dialogue is heavy. It is heavily worded. I love the stories that come from the dialogue. It makes sense. It's interesting, and I love the way there's a pictorial explanation of the story, which makes so much sense. And then the characters in the movie, they were brought to life by the actors, although I don't really know how to pronounce the names of the actors, but the actors did well to an extent, you know, and I love it. I love the actor that played Mr. Patrick, the old man, as well as Jim, although I have some issues with Jim, which I will talk about in the bad and ugly of this movie. And you know, I love those things about the movie. Now, the very first thing that I do not really like about this movie is that the synopsis of the movie is not in sync with the main story of the movie. Okay, now the synopsis that I read on Netflix states thus: a man is drugged and taken hostage while watching TV. When he escapes, he returns home with an unbelievable story to tell. Now, in this movie, after I finished watching the movie, especially the cliffhanger at the end, the man that they said right here in the synopsis that was drugged and kidnapped died. Okay, his head was turned down, and we were not shown if he was breathing or if he was moving to be resurrected to be given first aid, or for him to survive the accident that happened to him, you know, and for him to now retell the story. No, none of that. The only person that I saw that told the story, or that might tell the story, or that survived this accident, is Mr. Patrick, the policeman. Okay, and aside from that, I did not see how the synopsis was in sync with what the story was saying. So that for me is confusing, and that for me is unanswered. So that's why I'm saying that I hope that there will be a sequel to this movie, you know, because that should be able to answer my questions. Another thing is that the storyline left me with unanswered questions. Okay, especially the cliffhanger, and that's why I'm expecting a sequel. You know, I will not stop saying that. Then you see, Jim's story, according to Jim, he said his own story of the way he was abducted and the way he flee his abductors, and his abductors, Victoria and Dorothy. Victoria is saying a completely different story from what Jim is saying. So who am I going to believe? Am I going to believe Jim, or am I going to believe Vicky's story? I don't know who to believe. That is confusing to me. And then there's so many unanswered questions as regards the old man. You know, this is a true life story. I hope this old man has been captured. Why is he killing people? Like I need answers. I need answers, especially as regards the old man, and why he's being a serial killer, and why he dropped cigarettes after killing, you know, after doing his deed. So I need to know answers to all these questions, and I sincerely don't like the way I was left unanswered. And you know, we are not shown whether a sequel would be produced very soon. We are not shown. I sincerely hope, fingers crossed, that there will be a sequel to this. Yes. Now, I had an issue with the actor that played Jim's character. Jim in this movie is the guy that was abducted, that was kidnapped and drugged. Jim had an injury on his finger. In fact, one of his fingers was chopped off. Okay, and the way he was moving that wounded hand was not cool to me. I felt like he had forgotten that his finger was chopped off. I felt that because he was not moving the hand in the way that he was wounded or injured or pained. Like, geez, that was a major distraction to me while watching the movie, because I was just looking at the way he was moving the hand, and I'm like, wow, guy, was your finger not recently chopped off? Like, hello, there's even so much blood dripping from that hand. So I did not really like that about the movie. That should be looked on to. Then there's another thing I don't like in this movie: the fact that the outer event of the movie takes away from the tension going on in the main story, in the true life story. Okay, now Jim is the person that was abducted. He was telling the story to Mr. Patrick, that is a policeman, and they were all in a car, in an enclosed area, in a car, right? So while Jim is saying his story, and his story is being portrayed beautifully, you know, all of a sudden Mr. Patrick would want to, he would distract the story, and he would say he wants to go to the filling station, to the petrol station, buy fuel, buy fish. So, you know, all those distractions is just taking me away from the main story, from what is going on, from Jim's story. You get me? So that to me should be looked on, especially if there will be a sequel. Like, the tension should not be taken away from the main story. I enjoy the suspense. I enjoy the way the tension is going on in that movie, but when it's taken away, distracted, Like I sincerely don't like it. All right guys, I'll be rounding up this video here. What do you think about a girl in the yellow jumper? Let me know about your thoughts about it. I would be rating this movie a sweet 60%. Yes guys, I will be seeing you on my next video, because I'll be rounding up this video right here. See you on my next video once again. Bye for now.